We got to talk about how racist white people can't stand it when a single black woman moves in next to them, or a black family at that. Because you see, this documentary, this isn't a one-time occasion. This happens a lot, and I'm gonna share my experience. When I built my house in this neighborhood, I was single, and when I tell you I became the topic of conversation, the main character, these white people started fucking with me in ways that I never thought that they would. They vandalized my property. They stuck signs in my yards to mess with me. They would try to stalk me and watch me on social media to see where I was at so that they could mess with my yard. Called the police when I had a gathering that hadn't even started yet. There were 2 people at my house when I get a knock on the door. For what? There's no noise, there's no music playing. Reported me to the HOA, I think about 20 damn times at least. And then it was the weird shit like, oh, I get a new car and now all of a sudden y'all all get new cars within the next 2 to 3 weeks. That's not a coincidence. But then the girl next door to me has the audacity to call my mom the B word, to call her out her name out of nowhere. At this point, I've been bullied by these people for years, and we had to call the cops, and they had to set them straight. If you ever talk to her again or say anything to her, you will be arrested. Because that's how much of an obsession they have to mess with me when I have done what to you except be black? I have done what to you except be black and successful? When I tell you, it burns their asses when a single black woman is living in a place that they don't think we should live, is doing the things that we shouldn't be able to do. Because how are you living next to me and you don't have a man in the house? Why are you driving a nicer car than me? Why are you dressing better than me? They cannot stand it. And it becomes dangerous, like this documentary, because all that was racism. Racism and the fact that you can't stand that the person living next to you does not look like you. Now, I know some of y'all gonna come, oh, not all white people are like that. No, I know not all of y'all are like that, but it happens.
Hey y'all, so I ran across that video by TC42 and I thought it was interesting because it's not like it's not a story that we don't hear, right? Stories like that was more prevalent back in the day, right? But we still do hear them today, right? It's 2025. TC42 seems to feel that it's racism, right? Because of how many times they called the homeowners association on her, because of how many times they sent the police to her house for no reason, because of how they called her mother out of her name, called her the B word out of her name for no reason at all. For the simple fact that she got a brand new car and then everybody on the block seemed to go and get a new car, and it was almost as if she was saying like they were trying to keep up with her, right? Like, oh, you bought a new car, well, we can buy new cars too. Like, you don't have more money than us, right? She said they were confused about how she was able to buy a home in that neighborhood as a single woman, right? Because I'm pretty sure, it's a lot of families that live in a neighborhood, and maybe the husbands are the ones that buy the homes, right? And so you have this single black woman coming in, very independent, buying an expensive home in an expensive neighborhood, and I guess jealousy and envy ensues or whatever. My question, y'all, is it as much about racism as it is about mental illness? Because you really, really have to think about it. Like, it comes to a point where you have to start looking at it a little differently, because it's like, why are you so focused on this one person that you know nothing about? You don't know this woman from a can of paint. You know what I mean? Why are you so focused on what she buys? Like, why are you pocket watching her? Why are you so focused on who she has in her home, to the point where you send the police to her house so that they can see who she has in her home that she bought? Why are you so invested in how this woman lives her life, to the point that you just watch her, people watch her? It's like, record her, right? It's like what she said. She said it's an obsession. That's exactly what it is. It's an obsession. But when it becomes obsessive to that point, that can be deemed as a mental illness, because it's like, why do you wake up every day and your focus is on, what is this person doing? Who does she have in her house? Where is she going? How is she able to buy these new cars? How is she able to afford a home all by herself in this expensive area? How? Like, why are you so invested in, what do these people do with their time? Do they work? Or are these just like housewives that sit at home while the husbands go to work and they have nothing to do, so they just watch her? And if she never moved into the neighborhood, how would they have spent their days, is what I'm curious about now. It's like, would you have watched other people in the neighborhood? Or would you have just watched soap operas on TV? Would you have just sat on the couch and, Netflix and chilled while eating, some snacks? Like, how do you spend your day? And why is it that this woman becomes the focal point of the community every single day, as if you have nothing else to do? You have no other agenda but to be obsessed with this woman. That can be considered a mental illness. But y'all let me know, okay? I'm curious to hear what y'all think about this situation. Is it as much about racism as it is about mental illness? Comment, y'all.